So please go ahead and put up the slide which reflects the Phase 3 revised approach. Number one, effective Sunday, a stay-at-home advisory will be in effect from 10 o'clock at night until 5 o'clock in the morning on weeknights and 10:30 to 5 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. So what does that mean? And how is it different from a stay-at-home order? It's an advisory. I am strongly advising you and asking you to be home in your own house, not your friends, not at a party at someone else's house, in your house by 10 o'clock at night. We're not going to be pulling cars over. We're not going to have a heavy-handed approach on enforcement if you're out after 10. Not at this stage, hopefully never. But it's a big signal to all of us. It's a wake-up call. Okay, I have to change the way I have to rein it in. I've got to be home. My kids have to be home at 10 o'clock. No more parties, no more socializing after that hour. If you have to go to work, obviously go to work. If you have to go to the grocery store, if you want to go for a walk, if you have to go to the doctor, obviously go ahead and do that after 10 or before 5. But by and large, we want everybody home in their homes with the people they live with, not with friends and extended family, by 10 o'clock every night and 10:30 Friday and Saturday. So if you're at a restaurant or a bar at that time, and it's time to leave, I'm asking you to go home. Don't take the party to your friend's house. Don't invite a few folks over after you leave for dinner. Please go home. And as always, I'm asking for voluntary compliance. Having said that, if we continue to see big parties, more than 10 people after 10 o'clock at night, we are going to continue to increase the fines or levy the fines and increase our enforcement. Second, also effective on Sunday, all restaurants, bars, gyms, and recreational facilities, such as the casino, bowling alleys, museums, and personal services, must close at 10 o'clock on the weeknights and 10:30 on Friday and Saturday. Restaurants can continue to offer takeout and drive-through after 10 or 10:30. And also, we're going to be reasonable about it. You know, it doesn't mean we're going to come in with our inspectors or the police at 10:31 and shut you down, but it means you should take last call by that time. Start wrapping it up by 10 or 10:30 Friday and Saturday. Also, I want to keep pushing outdoor, outdoor, outdoor. We've put an enormous amount of time, effort, and money into the Take It Outside effort. It's way safer outdoors. Thank God we have some nice weather now. So if you're outside, it's the best place to be. The fact of the matter is, we know the more time you spend someplace, the more likely the virus is to spread. And we also know from our inspectors that the later the night goes on, the more people put their guard down. Maybe you've had more to drink, maybe you've been hanging around for a few hours, you're with people you know you like, you're having a good time. It's just human nature that's when our guard is down, we get too close to people, maybe we share food, we don't wear a mask, and that's what we have to try to cut down on or frankly eliminate. We haven't seen, thankfully, a lot of spread between parties at restaurants, and again, huge thank you to restaurants for doing what you're doing. But we have seen spread within parties when masks are off. So again, please try to keep go out for dinner with a couple people, not 6 or 8 people. And keep your mask on if you're not eating or drinking and when you're ordering. Third, we're lowering the capacity limit for indoor events and venues of assembly to 50% with a maximum of 125 people. This applies to houses of worship, performing arts venues, movie theaters. And again, all of this is consistent with what Massachusetts and Connecticut have recently announced. I've chosen to be a bit more lenient in terms of the time, but it's a very consistent regional approach, and we've been working for the past few days with Massachusetts and Connecticut, so we have an aligned approach in our region, which I think will make this all much more effective. We're also lowering the outdoor limit to 66% with a maximum of 150 people. And as I spoke about last week, we are continuing to see spread in the informal settings. So I would just ask anybody to please consider virtual worship in the next few weeks, if that's an option available to you by the church or synagogue or mosque or your place of assembly. I'm asking faith leaders to enable and allow and encourage virtual worship, and I'm asking folks to consider it. And certainly, if you're going in person, wear your mask, follow your rules, go worship, go home. Fourth, we're reducing the limit for catered events to 25 indoors and 75 outdoors for the next 2 weeks. Also consistent with Massachusetts and Connecticut, our neighboring states. I will say this, if you already have a wedding or a very special event already planned in the next couple of weeks, we are open to giving you an exemption as long as you contact the Department of Business Regulation and we can have a conversation around how you're going to make it a safe event and have compliance with the rules that would make it safe. Fifth, we're reducing the capacity limit at big box stores and malls. Retailers with more than 30,000 square feet of space. We're going to go back to the phase 2 limit of 1 person per 150 square feet. Over the last few weeks, we have started to see crowding at these businesses, and we can only expect that that crowding will increase as we head into the big shopping season. So I would like to remind these businesses to please have clearly marked spaces that allow people to be 6 feet apart, stagger folk, make them wait in line so the store is never overwhelmed with more people at any one time, and I would ask people to be patient. I will say we do hear a lot from big grocery stores, some big box type venues that folks aren't wearing masks, businesses aren't enforcing the mask wearing requirement. If you are a big retailer, any retailer, you have an affirmative obligation to go to someone who is there without a mask and ask them to put their mask on or offer them a mask. It's not enough to just put a sign up. 6, in addition to working from home when possible, I'm asking businesses to postpone or cancel non-essential work-related travel for the next couple of weeks. We're going to lead, the state is going to lead by example in this regard, and I've put a hiatus on work-related travel for state employees. 7th, we're updating our mask guidance to require masks at all times when you're with people that you don't live with. So basically, when you leave your home, including when you're working out at the gym, we need you to put your mask on, particularly if you're at a social gathering in somebody else's house or backyard who are people that you don't live with. Mask wearing rules in the workplace remain the same, but I would just say, just please use common sense. You know, I'm sure someone's saying, oh, Gov, does this mean if I go for a run, do I have to have my mask on? Listen, if you're out running in the woods and there's no one around you, maybe have your mask in your pocket. But if you're with other people, yes, you need to wear your mask. That means if you're on track running, and there's other people there, it means if you go hang out with friends in their backyard around their fire pit or go over to their house for dinner. which, by the way, I would ask you to cut down on. And if you do it, keep it limited before 10 o'clock, wear your mask, and just be really careful and safe, and always under 10.